Hello, beautiful beings. Okay, I thought I was going to take a nap, but they're like, oh, no, no, no. We're making a video about what happened. What's up? Okay. Uh, so I said, so is the video, because, I feel, well, I know what we're going to talk about. I said, so is the video going to be about self acceptance or being an empath? And they just said, they're just saying, acceptance of self really isn't that difficult, but self acceptance can be a challenge. Because I see it from, so the self, we're the self, which is presence and, just presence, the self, the true self. And then there's the persona self. And that really is the one that's growing, changing, and growing. So that was a really good one. Oh yeah, I was thinking, dang, I should write it down, but I can just rewind this video and write it down when I'm done recording. Okay, ancients, you need to guide my words because I still feel very weird. Who said that? When don't you? See, there's more self acceptance there. So, something that came out yesterday afternoon was every time I make a video, see, I thought I've gotten to where there's no mental activity when I make a video, but there is. But I'm onto it. I see it now. I'm very aware of it. And so I won't entertain it like it's just me. That's just how I'm feeling. That's how thoughts feel. Oh, that's just how I'm thinking. That's just how I'm feeling. No, it's a thought I'm giving my attention to. And it makes it feel like I feel that way. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it. That's what thinking is. Thoughts come in, and then I decide whether I'm going to really turn my attention to it. And once a thought comes in and I see it and it's emotionally charged and I turn my attention to it, then I am thinking. Yeah, I asked the ancients once, what is thinking? And that's what they told me. When I choose to turn my attention to a thought and I start giving my attention to it. So, how do I stop doing that? I turn my attention back to presence right here. If a person has not had the experience of awakening yet, then turning my attention inside the body, that is absolutely where I feel presence. When I turn my attention back to no thought, I really like that. Lately when I've been saying presence, they add yes back to no thought. Because that's where it is. It's the ultimate hiding place from the mind. And that's where I go. That's been the whole process in a nutshell for the last 10 years, is turning my attention away from those thoughts that I used to give full attention to, had no idea that that wasn't me. So the practice has been to go from those thoughts, back to presence, over and over thousands of times. And it starves the thoughts that I used to think were me, the habitual ways of being, the conditioned ways of being. It's not a fault thing. It's what we all go through on planet Earth. We all get conditioned by other conditioned beings. So, every single time I become aware of, every time I make a video, I'm thinking, I see these thoughts. I've been giving energy, life to these thoughts that are saying that what people are saying, that people are, I'm feeling apologetic for just being myself. I've worked a very, very long time, and I just heard myself say, and I'm still working on that. I don't know if it's something that needs to be overcome or not, but I say anything that I say too much of or do too much of, I'm always trying to bring into balance because I feel more comfortable that way. That feels more like presence. My person is feeling more and more like presence to me as time goes by. And self-acceptance, they're saying, is a huge part of that. So I used to think that I wasn't smart, was not intelligent at all. Now I do. I absolutely know I am because it's not really my thoughts. The ancients are my brain now. So it's easy to feel intelligent because I don't have to know anything when I'm holding satsang with anybody. I don't have to know anything. I don't have to think about anything. Oh, it's so beautiful because just the information comes through. And if I don't work with people that aren't, I find out very quickly if a person is open, receptive to what's coming through. I find out right away. And if they say, oh yeah, I am, but then what's coming through is just like, oh my gosh, no, I can feel that and I trust that now. And I say, no, whatever comes out does. And and I just keep asking, are you sure that you're comfortable with what's coming through? So yeah, satsang is just so life-giving to me because it's before it was it yeah, they're saying that it brought me, holding satsang with somebody brought me a relief that I don't experience anymore because I've shed the ways of being that holding satsang, um I don't need relief from those anymore because I've shed those. I'm really sorry if I don't make sense sometimes, but I'm not apologizing for being myself. Just be yourself. Everyone else is already taken, right? And I don't know if I'll ever, if I'll there will ever be a done with that. Oh yeah, I'm done. I totally accept myself as far as the persona goes, the personal identity goes. I feel that that will always need some fine tuning, which is totally fine with me because I don't mind any of these processes at all. Yeah, they're just so life-giving. Okay, so what else are we talking about? See, and I heard the thoughts saying, yeah, you bunny trailed. Oh, you bunny trailed there too. Yeah, you're not making any sense. Those thoughts do still come in, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. That's what these videos are really specifically designed for, is to shed that unnecessary personal identity because it would obstruct just a beautiful channeling flow of information that could possibly come that will come through to other people. That's for me, that's what the ascension process has been about, shedding the old. Some people are just, it's such a terror, it can be such a terrifying experience, this ascension process. They're really trying to I just saw somebody with their heels dug in the dirt, and the dirt is just plowing up over them because you can't stop it. We cannot stop the ascension process. We cannot. What? Ha! I can't even imagine wanting to. I mean, I can imagine wanting to. There's that FUC, forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. I've still been practicing that. Just because I don't understand it doesn't mean it's not legitimate for the other person. The fear, I mean, I do understand fear. I absolutely do. But there's no resisting this ascension process, and hearing our intuition over and over and over. And I know, and Sis knows that, and Ocean knows that it just gets louder and louder and louder. Don't worry, it'll just get louder. That's what Abraham Hicks says. And it's true. When we have a divine purpose on the planet and our intuition is screaming at us, giving us nightmares and not letting us sleep, that's not being punished. That's our own resistance to change. Change that will finally breathe new life into ourselves. I used to look at myself at periods of my life and look in the mirror and think, I look so old. I do. I look so old and dry. I just look so dry, and I just felt brittle, and everything just felt so Groundhog Day, same thing every day, just torturous, and yeah, it's just crazy. It seems like I just had another birth to earth day, but it seems like, how do I say this, ancients, without seeming, sounding egotistical at all? Thank you. It seems like, because it is, they're saying, the longer I'm immersed in presence, the younger I feel. And it's not a personal type of younger, it's a effortless type of younger. Yes. Oh, I used to be the saddest, most, I felt like I was the saddest, most confused, sensitive person on the planet. And I still feel, okay, this is the next part of what's coming, is being intensely empathic and accepting that. finally, I feel like, please, please let this be it, that I finally have accepted this about myself. I feel like I just jumped off onto that, but that's fine. I'm going to watch this video, and if I bunny trailed there on something incredibly important, I will put it in the description box. Okay, so I just had 3 of my grandchildren over, and they are 4, 8, and 12. Girl, boy, girl. Just absolutely precious beyond belief. However, when I have my grandchildren over, I blow circuits. I can't explain it. And they're saying you don't need to explain how it feels to you, because still at this point, I'm still trying to justify who I am, trying to make people understand who I am, so it won't feel like I'm being unloving. That's really the bottom line. Like, I have felt like a bad Grammy for a really long time. Didn't think I was gonna cry, but I mean, that's just, I can't even imagine. Like, I can't even imagine making any of my grandchildren feel like I don't love them. I can't even imagine, but I have. I feel like I have. I feel like I've made them feel unloved because I'm not around very much. I'm not around very much because I'm so sensitive. And I just had them over, and it's such a sensory overload. And I'm like, this time when I have my grandkids, I'm just gotta like stay super calm, and just, goose fraba. I'm just gonna stay super calm. That's not what it is. It's not a matter of staying calm. It's a matter of being empathic and being able to feel what each of those beautiful beings are feeling. There hasn't been a grandbaby that I've had, or a baby of my own that I've had, that I haven't cried when I've held them because they're crying. Because if you look it up on the internet, if you look it up on YouTube, there's plenty of stuff about, I'm like begging right now. I'm like, who am I begging right now? Because I'm in a, anybody that, may have felt hurt by my absence in their life, please look it up. This is what self-acceptance looks like. I'm not crying because I'm sad. I feel like there is some sadness leaving, though. I'm shedding that right now because I can't be sorry for who I am anymore. I just can't, because I've worked really, really hard at not being this sensitive, like crying through a video and crying when my grandchildren are here, and just feeling like just so much pressure in my body and my head and my neck. And just overwhelmed. Seriously, I know okay, so I'm not trying to explain it like I was a minute ago. They caught me. They were just like, no, you don't need to explain it in the way that you are right now. But I feel absolutely 100% overwhelmed. And no matter how much I'm present, no matter how much I turn my attention to presence and pray, and I almost called you by your name. I even called sis during the process, and I texted my mom at one point, and well, that was basically when it was over. I still had, one of my lovely grandchildren here, but 2 of them dropped away. Well, I was with 3 to begin with yesterday morning, and then my youngest one went home, and then so my grandson and my other granddaughter stayed with me. And that was really, really great. We were all we had really amazing talks. I finally had a talk with them. I had already spoke to Lila about being an empath, because I feel she is an empath also. She definitely is empathic. She needs to take breaks. We call it downtime when she's with other children. And it really, really has helped so much. So when we were having a talk yesterday, I was like, I'm so sorry, you guys. I just started telling them how I feel. And she said, I know that about you, Grammy. Yeah, you've talked to me about it before. She's 12. And I said, you're right. You're absolutely right. We have spoke about this because you're empathic also. And so we were all talking about it, and we just had the most beautiful talk. And I was just like, is this really happening right now? Where I'm actually holding satsang with my grandchildren. Satsang is basically just a very deep heart-to-heart conversation. And we talked about the importance of getting talking about our emotions, because if we don't, they turn into anger. Yeah, my grandson was very, very interested in that. He is incredibly intelligent. Not that they all aren't, but some beautiful beings, they find school very, very simple. Others don't. I did not. He definitely feels like school is very simple. He's incredibly popular. Yeah, all my grandchildren seem to be doing incredibly well in school. One is highly empathic. My oldest grandson, he doesn't do well in school, but he's very blessedly and incredibly intelligent. So yeah, they're navigating that, and his mom, my oldest daughter, she knows that light workers. They don't always fit into school. It's very common to not fit into regular school. The schooling is happening in a much different way for us. So I just got blow my nose. So self-acceptance, I feel like I've reached a new level of it, and I'm not a bad Grammy, because I seriously couldn't love them more. I mean, every time I think I couldn't love them more, I do. And yeah, it feels good to have self-acceptance. They're saying also, because I can help teach when my grandchildren are around me, they said that I've helped teach them even more about self-acceptance. So, oh, that feels really great. That feels really great. Yeah. Ancients, is there anything else we want to talk about? I have Eckhart, Muji, and Papaji in a 3-person frame. I think I've showed you before. And all of a sudden, when there's a pause, especially, well, there's been a couple times that I feel that they've called my attention to them, and they're just looking at me like so adoringly, and like, oh, we're so proud of you. Good job. I've always felt that from them. If you are highly empathic, or you are suspicious that you may be, but you just kind of feel crazy, we would love to talk to you about that. I've been intensely empathic, since I was very little. Yeah, I almost said, and I'm going to say what I almost said, because kind of it's calling it out to me. So what my mind just thought that I would have just kept to myself is, it just said, I just saw somebody outside my curtain. Sorry, it got my attention. My mind just said it wanted to apologize for something. Oh, because I said intensely, I changed it to intensely empathic, and it said, you don't need to say that. Why are you always saying that? Yeah, my mind says shit like that. Why are you always saying that? And it's in a different tone too. Like, it's really annoyed, and I'm such a burden, and so annoying and irritating. Whatever. It doesn't matter. This is to help humanity. It's none of my business. So, since I was very little, my first memory so far around that is, well, besides my grandmother coming to me when I was 5 and telling me I would live to be 105 the night she dropped her physical form. That was cool. But like around 4 years old, 4 years old, her name was Phyllis Luger. I was standing beside my mom in her kitchen at her house, and she tried to hand me a cookie, and I was terrified of her. And I found out later that she was actually a mean lady. I couldn't understand for years why I would be scared of somebody that was trying to give me a cookie, but I knew. satsongwithmamaG@gmail.com, or you could leave me a nice comment or a question in the comment section. Love you so much.